Venture to the Vile first clicked with me when I switched layers to solve a puzzle. I was trying to open a door, but there wasn't a lever in the area I hadn't pressed, and none of the ones I had opened the door. Then I remembered that one of them had extended a bridge to an area in the background. So I walked back to the bridge, shifted to the layer in the background, worked my way to the lever, and bingo, one open door. I love it when a plan comes together. See, Venture to the Vile is a 2D Metroidvania set in a 3D world, and you can switch between areas in the foreground and background as long as you find a path to get you there. See something cool? You can probably go there. Venture to the Vile takes place in and around the town of Rainybrook, where a mysterious substance called the Vile is corrupting everything, transforming the inhabitants of an otherwise colorful world into horrifying monstrosities. The cast has a lot of personality, whether it's Dr. Crow, who wants to dissect you, or the two shady guys who really don't want you listening into their conversation. Characters will give you quests, and you'll be able to visit the town's many shops to upgrade the abilities you'll acquire by venturing into the Vile. Venture to the Vile also sports a dynamic weather and day-night cycle that will change where characters are, what monsters inhabit an environment, the quests you can pick up and do, the narrative you'll experience, and the upgrades you'll find. That's where the actual gameplay comes in. Our unnamed stag-masked hero is looking for his friend Ella, who has disappeared in the Vile. Going into the Vile is dangerous, but our protagonist has a few tools to fight back. He can attack enemies with the retractable blade coming out of his arm, parry telegraphed enemy attacks, and double jump. Simple stuff, but it feels good. You can save at camps to replenish healing items, but it also returns defeated enemies to life, making for interesting decisions if you have to backtrack to see everything the dynamic weather and day-night cycle open up. I enjoyed Venture to the Vile most when it asked me to do a bit of everything. Switch between the different layers of the world to solve puzzles, fight off corrupted Vile monsters, and mix my platforming abilities up with environmental additions like zip lines. In fact, I was so into it that I didn't realize I'd walked into a boss fight against the world's angriest grasshopper until it started. I spent most of the fight avoiding the grasshopper, who attacked from various angles, spawned Vile on platforms to limit my movement, and did an area of effect attack that forced me to dodge, only hitting him when he stopped for a breather. The fight wasn't complicated, but it kept me on my toes and I barely prevailed. My reward was a dash ability. Killing enemies in the Vile rewards currency that can be used in Rainybrook, but killing bosses allows the protagonist to absorb their abilities. Absorbing Vile makes you more like the monsters you're fighting, adding an intriguing hook to the story. I was excited to try the dash for myself, but the playable section of the demo ended there. However, I did get to see what Venture to the Vile looked like a little later, courtesy of a separate hands-off showing. In it, our hero was exploring a Vile-infested windmill. In addition to the dash I'd unlocked, he also had a wall jump ability and a tentacle arm for leaping to nearby grapple points. The windmill had more layers than the environment I'd seen earlier and was much more vertical. Transversing it meant using those abilities and manipulating the windmill's internal machinery by riding conveyor belts, hitching a ride on grapple points, and freeing wooden gears from the Vile while navigating environmental obstacles and dealing with infested spiders and rats. The segment ended with a multi-stage boss fight against a giant tentacle eye. It's a complex fight. You have to deal with the eye's attacks in addition to stage hazards, a moving conveyor belt that can change directions, and rope grapple points. I can't wait to play it for myself. Honestly, that last sentence sums up how I feel about what I played and saw of Venture to the Vile. Studio Cut to Bits is developing a unique, literally layered Metroidvania with beautiful art and an intriguing world, and I can't wait to see more of what awaits us, and what our stag-masked protagonist might transform into in the future. For more on Venture to the Vile, check out the official announcement trailer, and for everything else in the world of gaming, keep it here on IGN.